Yes. What is good, my people? Welcome back to Computer Music Academy's weekly homework podcast. I'm your host, Tashir Rasay. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Welcome to week 94 of the weekly homework assignment / podcast. Shout out to my man, Mr. Wallace, representing Double Negative for that very, very dope intro for the last few weeks. We're actually moving on to a new one next week. This week, this year, I've been trying some things. I've reached back and we've gone, some stuff that we brought in season 1, some stuff from season 2. But this year, I wanted to make sure that I concentrated on certain instruments or certain elements of music that we use. We did percussion and we've done a couple of things, that have been very cool, but I want to make sure I focus on certain instruments because sometimes, especially those of us who are in hip hop, but we actually forget about certain types of instruments and they all contribute to all genres, no matter what genre it is. This week, I decided to go with that beautiful, very highly upheld string instrument called the guitar, because the guitar rocks, okay? Not just in rock music, but folk music, acoustic, in electronic music, believe it or not, in hip hop, believe it or not, R&B. I mean, the guitar is everywhere in every genre. It represents and it has its own sound and its own place and representation in every genre or every style of music. And I'm like, dude, we can do this. And obviously we can, because we have 8 submissions for this particular assignment where we're just focusing on the guitar. It can be sampled or it can be acoustic, but that should be somewhat of the highlight. And I'm ready to get to it. So, starting off with my man, DJ Lockturnal. Let's get it in. Yes, yes. This man never ceases to amaze. DJ Lockturnal opening things up, kicking it off. That was nice, dude. He said simply in his submission is that my explanation for this, excuse me, my explanation for this is I've been on a family vacation all week. You'll understand when you listen to the track, and I hear it now. Tell me this doesn't sound like, whether it's in a movie, TV show, or in real life, tell me this doesn't sound like if somebody was documenting your family vacation. You know, I'm not sure where he went, but, you know, wherever you decide to go, you know, like a big thing for a lot of people here in Michigan is going down to Ohio to Cedar Point. So, you know, getting up early in the morning, just follow me for a second, envision this. Getting up early in the morning, getting all the kids and everybody together, jumping in the car, riding down the road, actually getting there, running around the park all day, and then, you know, come home, and as you're coming home, the sun is setting, kids are falling asleep, all that kind of stuff. Tell me that track does not represent that. Tell me it doesn't fit that right there. And that's just only one family vacation. But tell me that doesn't work. And that's what I love about Lock. And it's so funny because I was just talking to Fields, actually the newlywed Fields, over the weekend. And he was saying that Lock is one of his favorite people, if not the favorite person right now. And I'm like, dude, he continues to do great work. And especially when he can tell a story through his song. And Lock, he does it once again. Jeez, man. Excellent, excellent track. Loved everything about it. All right, moving on to a gentleman that is a very brand new member. He is our newest member of CMA, now that I think about it. Yeah, he's one of our newer members at CMA. He's only been making beats for a short time, but he is the owner of the beautiful piece of equipment that we call the Machine Studio. And he's very, very new to beat making. So I'm not sure how this track is going to sound, but I'm happy that he actually submitted. So now he can get the feedback and start to grow. We can turn him into another, you know, another Lockturnal or another JSP8 and many other people who have come through here. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time in the Weekly Homework podcast, my man, E-Thang. Yes, yes. Originally from Compton, California, believe it or not, and now residing in Las Vegas. That's like a crazy upgrade, right? My man E-Thang with his first submission, and I'm not sure what number beat that would be for him, but you could definitely tell it's a very earlier beat, and it's not bad at all. It's not bad. Now it's a matter of getting with him, building, and improving and evolving. That's really what it's all about. I did like what he did. Didn't have a lot of guitar, or for the most part, didn't have a lot of instruments in it at all. It was a very minimal track. Nothing wrong with that. And I really like the length of it. You know, it was just over 1:30, which is fine. You know, if you're unsure, or as I've said before, if you don't have a lot to contribute, you don't have anything else to say after, you know, I don't know, I'm going to say 20 bars or something like that. Hey, let it go. For real. There is no shame. You know, I always tell the people, you know, keep your beats around 2:30, if not less. Slightly over is okay. But if you absolutely have nothing else to say after a minute 30 or something like that, call it. It's that simple, man. But I like where, you know, he's really just starting off. And I like when we've talked several times since he first joined. But, you know, one thing he's always stressed through every conversation that we've had is that he really just wants to translate the beats that are in his head to actual music, you know, actually getting them out of his head. And I can definitely relate to that. I know a lot of you can. So he's one of us now, and this dude is going to be dope. As long as he sticks around, we're going to make sure that he's on top of his game. All right, my man, E-Thang. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to another debut this week. A man who has been following me for a few years now on my main channel, and we recently connected over the last couple of months. I guess I'll keep that personal wide, but we recently connected on a more personal level over the last couple of months, and he just like jumped up one day and said, screw it, I'm joining. And he joined. It was the craziest thing, because I just checked on him one day, like, hey, how you doing? Everything good? Yeah, everything cool. And then like an hour later, I get the, the notification he joined CMA. So I'm happy that my man, RTO Beats, is making his debut. Let's go. Yes. RTO Beats making his weekly homework podcast debut. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And knowing what I know about this man, you know, I know he's been really trying to get back in the groove of making beats on a regular basis. And I've never asked him about it, but I'm assuming that's the reason why he joined, so he can jump in the assignment and in the podcast and get that. And it has taken him, I will say this, it has taken him a few weeks to actually contribute. But now I'm gonna give you a piece of advice, as well as E-Thang. Now you've made that first step. You've made your debut. You've contributed your first track. There's no turning back now. You can stop and walk away, cancel your subscription and all that kind of stuff. But for somebody that you've actually made an impression upon, and we do have a nice amount of subscribers or viewers that pay attention to the podcast, they could be like, what happened to that dude? Your name is out here, and then suddenly you have nothing else that you've contributed. And a lot of people will watch that. I know I've watched that in other cases, but a lot of people will watch that and say, well, shoot, if he can't keep up beats, on the podcast, then why should I even care about this dude? He probably sucks at everything else or whatever. I probably went extreme there. But now that you're here, continue to contribute on a regular basis. Keep your name out there. Keep your name fresh. Most importantly, it's not about the podcast. It's not about having your name out there, even though that's part of it. It's about practicing every week. It's about being challenged every week and eventually evolving. That's what it's all about. Eventually getting better, making better music. That's what it's all about. So thank you, RTO, for finally submitting. My man. All right. Speaking of somebody who's been at it, constantly contributing, and who is evolving and getting better, my man, JSP8. Let's go. Yes. JSP8. That's what I'm talking about, boy. Man, that got me pumped. Oh, all right. Here it is. Here it is. Putting my stamp on it. That is officially JSP8's best track to date. And I think I may have done that before, but we're going to continue to update that as this dude continues to update and upgrade. Man, that was nice. First of all, shout out for what I will go back and listen to it later, but that was excellently mixed. The mix on that was really, really dope. Very clear. Everything had its own presence. I don't know if I heard a lot of panning, like moving things to, you know, certain positions, but dude, that was dope. That was incredibly dope. Man, like the intro, like the opening part, one breakdown, come in with some other things, a couple change ups, had a solo. The beat changed completely with all the toms and everything. Are you serious right now, dude? Yo, that was dope. That was incredibly dope. JSP. Ooh, way to bring it, bro. Man. Not too much more I need to say about that. Man, that was dope. Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to my man. We haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks, but my man is going to do something. I have a feeling he's going to do something very dope with this assignment. So let's give it up for my man, MICnotes.
Double negative.
Yes, sir. MICnotes doing his thing. That was the title of that joint was actually called Stepped on Guitar. That tells you everything. Very, very nice, my man. Oh, dude. Yeah, see, Mike is one of those dudes. He's one of those people that he samples everything. I don't think he does a lot of instrumental, instrumentation stuff at all. But he samples everything, and the way in which he samples almost, if you're not careful, you would not know that he sampled it. The way he chops and takes little itty bitty pieces of things and replays them to where they are, or I should say where they do sound like instrumentation. Now in this case, especially that first part, definitely knew it was a sample. One thing I will say on that second part, when it flipped, oh dude, That was really dope. And I'm gonna actually point this out. One of my favorite songs of all time. It's an instrumental song. It's a jazz song, I guess you could say, by a jazz artist. Wayman Tisdale, Circumstance. Go look that up. Wayman Tisdale, Tisdale, Circumstance. One of my favorite, and I do mean favorite, instrumental tracks of all time. It was produced by, for people that may remember from the 90s, dude by the name of J.R. Swinga, I think it was. But he did the track, and Wayman Tisdale, man, he rest in peace. He passed a few years back. But he's a former basketball player. He was a power forward. And he also played bass. And he actually got his contract and started his label and everything and put that song out. I don't know why I'm all getting choked up today. But he put that song out. Might have been like 96, I think it was. That track is still a banger. Wayman Tisdale, Circumstance. And the reason why I bring that up is because that second part of this track reminds me of that. Man, it really, really reminds me of that. Even down to the part where there's a part in Circumstance where it's like, and it's, I swear I heard that in Mike's track. But man, this joint was dope. Laid back, nice Spanish flamenco guitar, you know, that was in there. You could definitely tell that. That had a nice reverb on it by itself. You know, I'm assuming from the track he sampled, but the way Mike used it, then it had just a real nice kick, you know, clap, 808 kind of stuff. Really laid back, really chill. Man, very, very dope track. Mike, thank you for contributing this week, my man. All right, on to the gentleman. Yeah, excuse me. On to the gentleman who I knew for a fact, I'm just going to call this right now. The man I knew for a fact was going to step up and knock it out of the park this week because he has no choice. Gold 007. Let's go. See, I have fun giving out these assignments, and it's not a control thing at all. Part of it is when I'm actually coming up with these assignments, and as I'm, typing up the description and getting ready to send it out to the people and all that kind of stuff, I just know that, oh man, this particular one, this person is going to kill it, or this particular one, these people are going to kill it. And I knew once I said guitar, Gold 007 was going to step up and kill it. Why? Because he is an accomplished guitarist. Dude owns a ridiculous amount of guitars and guitar amps and guitar pedals and guitar effects. Not just that, he has a ridiculous acumen for music in general. So with him being with us for the last couple of years, and he has been enhancing, I would say, more of the, I guess more of the hip hop / electronic side of his musical background. He's been enhancing that with us, just basically being around us and doing what we're doing. And he's constantly buying and trying new gear as well. But man, I just knew once I put this out there, it was going to be him that was just going to make it work. Because this is what he does. He has a ridiculous amount of guitars and he knows how to play them. And what's so funny is, on the site, when I actually give out the assignments, anytime I make a post on the site, you have the ability to give a like or share that particular post. And there was one like on the post. I know exactly where that came from. Oh, gold, man, this was really, really dope. Man, he put some work into this. A lot of work, mixed very well, very, very well. I like that. There were some areas where the guitar sounded distorted, and I know for a fact that was on purpose. But man, the amount of work, and I can imagine how many different guitars or effects or whatever he used on there, whether it's hardware or software. He put a nice amount of work into there. I forgot where it was. I want to say around the 150, maybe 140, where it has this, it has a drop down. Oh my God. Stupid. Just, I'm done talking about this track. That was incredible. Thank you, Gold. Man. All right, moving up. Did I say upped as in UPT? Jeez, dude. Moving up to Detroit. I'm very interested in hearing this one. My man, Mr. Wallace. Let's go. This man never ceases to impress. Never ceases to bring it and just act the fool in these tracks. Oh my God. Mr. Wallace. Using one of my favorite, I do mean probably, if not my number one, my number two Isley Brothers track of all time, and that's Voyage to Atlantis. If I go all my way without you, whoa. Oh my God. And I've always said somebody needs to do something with that track, even though I never got it done myself. But that track in the beginning, that guitar when it comes in, sometimes I find myself like if I'm laying guitar in the track and I hit the right notes and I have the right sounding guitar, I try to emulate that sometimes. You know, I'm just playing around. I won't lay it in the track, but man, that track by itself, the Voyage to Atlantis, is insane. I love everything about that. And then seeing what Wallace did with it, come on, man. Come on. I really, really enjoyed this. I like how he used it, chopped it, different sections of it, and even brought in Ron Isley. Ron Isley has one of the illest voices of all time. To be a fully grown black man, so to speak, but then to have that really, I guess that would be falsetto, you know, kind of high pitched. But his voice is so dope over Isley Brothers music. And I know later on he did a lot of work with R. Kelly, but over Isley Brothers music, his voice is just undeniable. And I love the lyrics and I love the way this track is sung. I love what Wallace did with those vocal parts. I will make one request. I don't know if you're done with this. I will make one request. Use that "come back to you." I love that part. That needs to be in there somewhere. Oh man, Wallace again with another very dope submission. Loved everything about it. And I love his choice of drums and breaks for this one. You know, that's his big thing, is he'll use break beat drums, but then he'll also chop up the break beat or another break beat and use it. And I love the choices that he used in this particular track on top of everything else. Very, very sick, my man. Oh, God. All right, moving on to the finale of the guitar assignment. My man, your man, Sho-Nuff. Oh boy. It is absolutely a pleasure to do this show every week. It is. It is an absolute pleasure because I get the chance to hear a ridiculous amount of just damn good music. And, you know, it's again, talking to my man Fields over the weekend, and, you know, he asked me about how do I feel about music? I'm like, dude, did you not listen to my rant after the grand finale 2014? Do you not know the tagline of CMA? And it was like, dude, music today, music that is coming out at this very moment. I'm not talking about a couple years back, a few years back. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about today in 2015, July 2015. The stuff that's on the radio, the stuff that is being released and at least being pushed, being fed to the populace sucks. It does. It does. It absolutely sucks. It really, really sucks. And that's on multiple genres. That's on R&B that no longer exists. Definitely hip hop. Hip hop is a tool to poison the minds of the masses now. It's not what it used to be. Definitely on a pop level. People would say, well, that's what pop music does. Nah, man, there's always been great pop music. Now, pop absolutely sucks. And I'm not saying this, but some people would say that EDM is the horrible part of electronic music. I agree to an extent. There's some EDM that is absolutely horrible, just high-pitched, loud noises, but there's some good too. But for the most part, and I would even say country as well. There's a thing, look this up. There's a video that shows you, I forgot what the year was. It was either 2012 or 2013 that showed like 5 or 6 top country songs that were like top 5 in the country genre. And they were all the same. They had the same lyrics, the same grooves, everything. Look that up. But all of that stuff, all the popular genres of music, they suck. And it annoys me so much that music has just really just downgraded so much. But there are really, really great musicians and there is really, really great music still out there. And I'm not just speaking from CMA, but you have to look for it, unfortunately. And I guess that's where things like Spotify and Beats Radio and, you know, Pandora and a couple of other things, I guess that's where they come in, is actually, you know, being able to find certain things, or at least being in contact with certain groups or whatever on social media. That's how you find the good music. So bringing it all back to this assignment and to CMA, it is an absolute pleasure for me to do this show every week because you get to hear stuff like this, what we just heard, these last 8 songs, including and this last song from Sho. I know Sho didn't have a lot of time to really work on this joint, but man, what he did with it, come on, man. Sho is like gold to me. Sho is like gold. And I think I've also compared him to Taurus as far as just the ability to play. There's a lot of us who are samplers at CMA, and, you know, I will include myself as a sampler and somewhat of an instrumentalist, somewhat, because I still don't know how to actually play, but I can fake it. It sounds damn good when I do it. Whereas Taurus, Gold, and Sho know exactly what they're doing when they jump on a keyboard or a guitar or, you know, the drums or whatever. Sho has been just bringing it this entire season. Continues to impress every single week. And this joint right here with the static, I'll just say the distorted samples, they were sampled down where it was like an electric piano and a couple of other things. But then to actually have the nice kind of muted rhythm guitar in the back. Then coming off of the Isley Brothers, once again, he has that nice fuzz electric guitar that is so prevalent in a lot of Isley Brothers music. Oh my God. So that got me right there. And just the overall kind of laid back, kind of summer sounding track, man. Y'all kill it every single week. Y'all kill it every single week. So shout out to Sho-Nuff, Mr. Wallace, Gold 007, MICnotes, JSPA, RTO Beats, E-Thang, and my man DJ Lockturnal. And also thank you, the watcher, the listener, the people who watch our show every single week. Share it, like it, tell people about it, and bring people over here and let them know this is what we're doing. Let them know that there's another place that you can hear good music, or at least good beats, every single week. If you would like to be one of us, be on the show, be amongst us, come on over to computermusicacademy.com and join us. It is that simple. I'm done for the week. You enjoy the rest of your week, and I will talk to you next time. See ya.